So today we're debunking a video by the Young Turds on libertarianism. And because they cater to an audience of clueless liberals, they open in by explaining what libertarianism is. I'll skip most of that, besides the parts where they outright lied.
Or you might have heard about it from the Republican version of Bernie Sanders, Ron Paul.
Don't insult Ron Paul. Ron Paul was not an idiot on economics like Bernie Sanders was. Also, Paul never endorsed Romney like Bernie endorsed Hillary.
However, on social issues, some of the libertarian policy positions are actually more progressive than an Occupy Wall Street drum circle.
Except that drum circle, or the left in general, isn't socially progressive at all. Maybe 10 years ago you could make that case, but these days, social justice warriors run the show, and they're bringing their racism, their sexism, and their hatred of free speech into it. The Occupy Wall Street movement itself collapsed when it sent Ketchup to talk about social justice bullshit. Okay, now comes to the actual meat of the video.
The libertarian stance on social issues include making prostitution legal and legalizing all drugs, even the good ones. Libertarians also believe that no military action should be taken against foreign nations unless the US is attacked first. All of which sounds great to me. But what doesn't sound as great are libertarian ideals on the economic front.
Oh boy, the Young Turks are going to talk economics. Heavens help us.
Libertarianism comes down to the belief that the principles that drive a free market economy can be applied to how humans govern themselves. It's this idea that an invisible hand that...
The invisible hand isn't an argument. It was a conclusion. It was Adam Smith's way of neatly wrapping up his conclusions. To attack that instead of his actual arguments, or the arguments of the later economists that have surpassed him, is a blatant straw man.
guides the free market will also drive human interaction with social order. This foundation is one that I disagree with, because when unchecked, man motivated by self-gain will not ultimately do the right thing.
It is not from the benevolence of the butcher, the brewer, or the baker that we expect our dinner, but from the regard of their own interest. C. Smith wasn't the best in his trade, but this point he can refute perfectly. Capitalism channels people's greed into serving each other.
This is why there are criminals, those who commit crimes, even when there is a system that actively tries to prevent it.
The system doesn't actively try to prevent crime. It's the biggest criminal of them all.
And then the whole purpose of civilization should be to ensure that everyone is fed, clothed, housed.
Civilization is a collection of people. You have no right to tell these people what their purpose is.
And not to create conditions so that the few can secure a substantially greater portion of resources while others are virtually left with nothing.
The economy isn't a zero-sum game. Economies grow. The average person lives like a king compared to centuries ago. Just because some have more doesn't mean others have less.
So in a libertarian society, who protects the unprotected? Who defends the rights of the defenseless?
He's talking about protections and massive quotation marks, like the minimum wage and regulations. These are nothing more than safety blankets at best, and socialism for the rich at worst. The cost of minimum wage credits are at best passed to the consumer, meaning you're doing nothing, and at the worst they mean unemployment. Regulations help the rich by keeping out competition. After all, who has money to hire a lawyer to decipher 80,000 pages of regulations and start a business, and who doesn't?
Even libertarians acknowledge that a free market will drive a larger wealth disparity.
Absolute horseshit. I already talked about how regulations drive up wealth disparity. The Fed does the same by raising the price of living while driving up stock and real estate prices, the two things rich people put their money into. Subsidies are just plain free money for the rich. Get rid of these things and you'll have a lot less difference between the rich and the poor.
Which some believe will be offset by the trickling down of wealth and technology.
Idiot liberals everywhere, say this with me. Trickle down economics does not exist. No one believes that. It's a retarded straw man you created since you can't measure up to actual economics. CGT, a French union? This is a strike, one of the national sports. Sorry, but what the fuck does this have to do with libertarianism?
But wealth inequality paired with deregulation creates an opportunity for haves to rule over the have-nots.
Yes, massively diminishing the government's power or getting rid of it completely will lead to government power. What is this, homeopathy?
This is one of the many reasons for regulation.
So 80,000 pages of regulations lead to more freedom? Fucking brilliant.
To ensure that the rich few do not impose their will unjustly or destructively on the poor multitudes.
How? One of the left's favorite things to do is muddy the water when it comes to oppression. Using the government to fuck over groups of people they don't like? That's just being progressive. Giving money if I do something? Oppression! This is an attempt to distract from the real oppressors. Them.
Another libertarian belief is the idea that the government should not be allowed to impose its will on the citizenry. However, in a truly free market that promotes freedom of contract and deregulation, employers have a right to force rules that would never be permitted in our current democratic systems.
If I pay you money to wear a kilt, are you being literally forced to wear a kilt? No. I mean, your current democratic system puts people in a cage because they had a plant. So shut the fuck up.
Libertarianism is a rich man's ideal. It ostensibly gives ultimate freedoms and choice to everyone at the cost of helping the helpless.
More helpless have been lifted out of poverty by the free market than the state could ever in a million years.
It completely ignores the reality of economic forces.
Yes, an idiot who thinks that trickle-down economics is a real thing will tell us how much he knows about economic forces. I'm all ears.
Which compel the poor to take jobs they don't want to.
Life is cost versus reward. Everything has a cost and a reward. To expect things that are only reward is childish and idiotic.
And live where they don't want to just because they have to.
They don't have to. A libertarian society will literally allow them to build a lice-ridden hippie commune in some dark forest no one owns. If that's something they want to do.
You can't completely deny that. You
I just did, bitch. Deal with it.
can't not see that reality.
There's actually nothing to see. All you have seen are paranoid delusions brought on by a drug of an ideology you have.
And while individual freedoms extending to property rights are in the forefront of the core principles of libertarianism, deregulation and a free market economy that will lead to an even bigger wealth gap
Repeating something over and over and over always makes things truer.
sounds like the prologue to the movie Elysium.
The actual level of retardation on display here. Yeah, they made a movie about something being bad, so that's proof it's bad. There's also a movie about a tire killing people. Is that proof we should ban tires?
Starring Matt Damon, or Snowpiercer, or any other dystopian future pick where
Wow, almost as if Hollywood's full of commies.
classism runs rampant and the massive lower income classes rise against their small but incredibly wealthy oppressors.
Again, gotta muddy what oppression means. Oppression totally means people having more money than you. Nailed it there, buddy.
If you really want to understand what would happen in a libertarian society, watch that movie, watch Elysium.
No, that's as dumb as saying, if you really want to understand the candy making industry, watch Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. How do you tie your shoelaces and say such retarded shit? How haven't you seen a Red Bull commercial, bought a can, and jumped off a skyscraper yet?
That's a libertarian utopia, where the wealth disparity is abysmal.
Libertarians lead to wealth disparity. Libertarians leads to wealth disparity. Libertarians lead to wealth disparity.
And the eroding middle class is fully shifted well below the poverty line.
Can I get a goddamn citation proving that'll happen in libertarianism? One that doesn't refer to a work of fucking fiction?
Yes, we will likely continue to make technological advancements that allow for like robotic arms like the ones that Matt Damon uses in that movie, but increasingly in service to a narrower and narrower segment of the population.
Sorry, what? The most free market sectors of them all, IT, has made it possible for pretty much all the populations to be able to watch your bullshit. You know that. That's why you're addressing the video to the poor and middle class, yet you still make this idiotic claim?
Now, you may see the poor or the underclass as weak. You may see them as the losers in this giant meritocratic experiment that is the libertarian ideal. But weak as they are, there are going to be a hell of a lot more of them than there are of you. So in the hopes of avoiding the fate of the monarchy during the French Revolution, maybe it's best to retain welfare and at least a modest social safety net.
Today's equivalent of the monarchy before the French Revolution isn't the rich, it's the politicians. Those very same politicians you grovel to so they can save you from the spooky, scary businesses. I guess there's a bit of truth in what you're saying. How do they keep their power? Well, besides by pointing at the rich and saying, "Oh, he's rich. Isn't that scary? Aren't you jealous? You need me or else he might give you money in return for something." And that's oppression somehow. They also give you handouts in the hopes you won't complain as they strip one freedom from you at a time. And you know what? It fucking works, because there are too many idiots like you.
If for no other reason than to keep them from grabbing their pitchforks and turning on you. Think of it as like a riot tax.
Oh, communism and libertarianism are similar because I'm an intellectually lazy piece of shit. If you actually looked into communism, you'd find out that the theory is complete crap. It's based on economic equivalent of creationism. The labor theory of value, something refuted as often as creationism, but still believed by some people for same reasons. Any society built on communist blueprints automatically fails thanks to the calculation problem.
In the end, libertarianism is similar to communism.
Yes, the literal opposite of communism is similar to communism. How do you function?
I know that sounds a little crazy, but hear me out.
Oh my god, he almost achieved self-awareness.
On its face, they're both noble but impossibly ambitious theories. One has individual freedom as its core principle, and the other equality.
They both have core principles? Oh shit, they must be the same. Just like your mouth and your asshole are both holes in your body, so they must be the same as well.
However, in practice, both concepts lead to outcomes that aren't as pure.
Okay guys, I'm Mr. Dapperton. Please follow me on all the social medias, and also smash that subscribe and smash that like button.